Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. How often do you truly believe in the limitless power that surrounds us? How often do you wake up and realize that the very fabric of your reality is connected to something vast, something infinite, something beyond the constraints of your understanding? Imagine, just for a moment, that the God you believe in is not confined by the limitations we place on ourselves, not bound by the rules of time or space. Imagine that the breakthrough you've been waiting for is not something that will happen to you, but something you can step into right now. This is the key. The breakthrough is already within you. It's not outside of you. It's not a distant event. It's happening in the present moment. The power to experience that breakthrough is within your mind, your heart, your soul, waiting to be unlocked. Here's the truth. God's potential is limitless. It is the most powerful force in the universe. And when you begin to understand that this divine power flows through you, your life begins to shift in miraculous ways. But here's where we get stuck. Most of us are conditioned to believe that change requires time, struggle, effort, or external circumstances. We live as if the key to transformation is in the future, if only we could work harder or wait longer. But I'm telling you today, the breakthrough isn't in the waiting. It's in the activation of your belief. It's in the decision to rise above the limitations that have been imposed upon you by the world around you. When we are aligned with the limitless nature of God, we tap into a higher frequency. This isn't a theoretical idea. It's a practical reality. The moment you step into this awareness, you begin to see that everything around you is interconnected. Every thought, every action, every feeling you have is a reflection of your inner reality. You have the power to change the script. You have the ability to reprogram your mind, to open your heart, to clear the path for God's breakthrough to unfold in your life. But here's the thing. You have to be ready. Not ready in the sense of waiting for the right moment. Ready in the sense of being open. Ready in the sense of letting go of the old patterns, the old stories, the old ways of thinking. You see, your breakthrough will only happen when you are willing to let go of the limitations that have been programmed into your mind. The idea that you are not worthy of something bigger, the belief that you are stuck, the thought that things can't change, those are the barriers you must overcome. God is always ready to deliver. God's power is unchanging, always present, always available. The question is, are you ready to receive it? Are you ready to step into the flow of abundance, of transformation, of miracles? Right now, this very second, God is calling you to step into your greatness. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is not a matter of time or luck. It's a matter of energy, of alignment, of awareness. When you understand that your thoughts create your reality and that your thoughts can be aligned with divine energy, your life begins to reflect that truth. You will find that the limitations you thought were real were nothing more than illusions. You will begin to experience synchronicities, opportunities, and results that feel like they come from nowhere, but they come from everywhere. Remember, you are not separate from the divine flow of the universe. You are a vessel of that power. The moment you align your thoughts, your intentions, and your actions with this divine energy, you become a channel for miracles. So, be ready for your breakthrough. Don't wait for it to come to you. Step into it. Trust that the moment you change your perspective, the moment you open your mind and heart, the moment you let go of your old limitations, you will find that the breakthrough has been with you all along. God is limitless, and so are you. God's power is limitless. And understanding this truth is the first step in unlocking the potential within our own lives. Too often, we confine ourselves to a narrow perception of what is possible based on our limited understanding of the world around us. We live as if there are boundaries to what can be achieved, as if there are walls that cannot be crossed or obstacles that cannot be overcome. But when we truly tap into the realization that the divine power that created the universe has no limits, everything changes. God's limitless nature is reflected in the very fabric of reality. From the vastness of the cosmos to the intricacies of the smallest particle, the universe operates without boundaries, constantly expanding and evolving. This limitless force is not a distant concept. It is an active, dynamic presence in our lives. When we align ourselves with this truth, we begin to recognize that the same power that governs the stars, the oceans, and the earth flows within us. There is no part of us that is separate from this divine energy. Every thought, every feeling, every action is a reflection of our connection to this infinite source. When we understand that God's power is boundless, we can begin to release the limitations we have placed on ourselves. The boundaries we experience in our lives are not imposed by divine will. They are created by our own beliefs and perceptions. Once we shift our mindset to embrace the infinite potential of God's power, we can begin to experience breakthroughs that once seemed impossible. There is no situation too challenging, no dream too big, no vision too distant when we are connected to a limitless source of energy and love. Breakthroughs begin with belief. And the foundation of every transformation lies in the way we perceive our own potential. What you believe about yourself, your circumstances, and the world around you shapes the reality you experience. If you believe that change is impossible or that your situation is fixed, then your actions, your energy, and your outcomes will reflect that belief. But when you shift your belief to one that aligns with possibility, that is when true breakthroughs occur. Belief is a powerful force that shapes every aspect of our lives. It's not just a passive thought, it's an active creative energy that drives our behaviors, decisions, and actions. When we believe that a breakthrough is possible, we open ourselves to the energy of change. The very moment we start to embrace the idea that something bigger, something better is within reach, we begin to align ourselves with the forces that can make that vision a reality. This belief does not require perfect circumstances, nor does it demand a clear path to success. In fact, often the most profound breakthroughs come in times of uncertainty, when belief becomes the anchor that guides us through the unknown. It's the trust in what is unseen that allows us to take the steps that may not make sense in the moment, but lead to transformation. The key is not to wait for external conditions to change before you believe in your breakthrough, but rather to believe in the possibility of change first, and then watch how the world begins to shift around you. Our beliefs shape the energy we emit and the opportunities we attract. When we choose to believe in the possibility of something greater, we create an internal environment that fosters growth, transformation, and limitless potential. Your mind creates your reality, and this truth is one of the most powerful insights you can embrace. Every thought you have is a blueprint for the world you experience. The way you think about yourself, your circumstances, and the future directly influences the way things unfold in your life. Our minds are not passive receivers of the world around us. They are active creators, constantly shaping and reshaping the reality we live. When you hold positive, empowering thoughts, you align your energy with the possibility of growth, success, and fulfillment. On the other hand, when you focus on negative beliefs, fears, or limitations, you unconsciously reinforce those same conditions in your life. Your mind doesn't differentiate between what is real and what you believe to be true. If you repeatedly think thoughts of lack, fear, or inadequacy, you begin to attract experiences that reflect those thoughts. But when you consciously choose to change your thinking, when you begin to see yourself and the world in a new light, your reality begins to shift. The mind is incredibly powerful because it is the gateway through which we interact with the universe. Our thoughts determine the energy we send out, and that energy attracts experiences that mirror our beliefs. By changing our thought patterns, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and new outcomes. It's not about forcing change through sheer willpower, but rather about understanding the profound impact of our mental state. When we think in alignment with the life we want to create, we begin to see the world around us respond in kind. Every moment is an opportunity to choose new thoughts, to shift our perceptions, and to reimagine the reality we want to experience. Your thoughts are not just passive reflections of what happens to you. They are active forces that shape your destiny. You are a vessel of divine potential, and understanding this can completely transform your experience of life. Often, we view ourselves as separate from the greatness that surrounds us. It's as if we are small, insignificant, or disconnected from the vast energy of the universe. But in truth, we are all channels through which divine power flows. The energy that creates galaxies, moves oceans, and gives life to every living being is the same energy that resides within us. When you realize that you are a vessel for this limitless power, you begin to understand that you are never powerless. You are never without resources. The very force that sustains all life is within you, and it is constantly flowing, waiting for you to align with it. Too often, we look outside ourselves for answers, believing that the source of our strength and potential lies in external circumstances or people. But the truth is that the source has always been within us. When you step into the awareness that you are a vessel of divine potential, your perspective shifts. You no longer see challenges as obstacles, but as opportunities to express the power within. Difficult situations become moments of growth, and even the smallest actions can carry immense meaning when you recognize that you are channeling divine energy. You begin to move with purpose, knowing that every thought, every word, and every decision is an expression of the limitless potential within you. This realization doesn't just inspire you to act. It also empowers you to act with confidence, knowing that the divine energy is always available. You are never alone in your journey, and your potential is not limited by the conditions around you. Instead, it is shaped by your willingness to embrace and channel the divine power that is already within you. Transformation is a choice, not a waiting game. Too often, we find ourselves waiting for the perfect moment, the right circumstances, or a sign that we are ready for change. We tell ourselves that once everything falls into place, then, and only then, will we be able to transform. But the truth is that transformation happens when we decide it will. The choice to change is not dependent on external factors. It is a decision within ourselves to embrace something new, to take that first step toward the life we desire. Change doesn't require everything to be in alignment or perfect. It doesn't wait for the world around us to shift before it happens. In fact, the world around us begins to shift as soon as we make the internal choice to transform. When we decide to stop waiting for external validation or approval, we step into the power we have always had within us. We stop being victims of our circumstances and start becoming the creators of our future. Transformation happens the moment we let go of the belief that we are powerless, that we are stuck, or that things cannot change. It happens when we take ownership of our thoughts, emotions, and actions, understanding that we are the ones who direct the course of our lives. The moment we choose to act in alignment with the vision we hold for ourselves, everything begins to move in that direction. Waiting for change to come from outside forces keeps us in a state of passivity, whereas choosing transformation activates the energy within us that propels us forward. This energy begins to attract the opportunities, people, and circumstances we need to support our growth. By choosing transformation, we shift from being passive observers of life to active participants in the creation of our own reality. The present moment holds infinite possibilities, and recognizing this truth is the key to unlocking the transformation we seek. So often, we get caught up in the past or the future, believing that the key to change lies somewhere other than where we are right now. We dwell on past mistakes, regrets, or missed opportunities, or we focus on a future that seems far off and unattainable. But the reality is that all of our power lies in the present moment. It is here right now that we can choose to change, to grow, and to shift our lives. The present moment is where everything happens. It's where decisions are made, actions are taken, and energy is directed. The past is already gone, and the future hasn't yet arrived. But the present is a dynamic space where we have the power to create. Every thought, every feeling, and every action we take in this moment sends ripples into our future. When we fully embrace the present, we unlock the power to create the future we desire, not through some far-off event, but through the decisions we make now. When we become truly aware of the present moment, we step into a state of heightened consciousness. We stop reacting to life on autopilot, and instead, we begin to live with intention. We realize that every choice we make, no matter how small, holds the potential for transformation. The more we focus on the present, the more we connect with the infinite possibilities it offers. In the here and now, there is no limit to what we can create or experience. By choosing to be fully present, we tap into a limitless reservoir of potential that shapes our reality in profound ways. Release old patterns to make space for miracles. We all carry within us deeply ingrained beliefs, habits, and thought patterns that have shaped the way we perceive ourselves and the world around us. These patterns, often formed through past experiences or conditioning, can act as invisible barriers that limit our ability to experience growth and transformation. We may not even realize how tightly we cling to these patterns, but they control our behaviors, reactions, and perceptions, holding us in cycles of repetition and keeping us stuck in places we don't want to be. The first step toward experiencing true change is to consciously release these old patterns. This doesn't mean abandoning the lessons we've learned from the past, but it does mean letting go of the limiting beliefs, fears, and expectations that no longer serve us. Old patterns are like clutter in the mind. They take up space, prevent clarity, and keep us from stepping into the full potential of who we are. When we are attached to the old ways of thinking, we limit ourselves to what we've always known. And in doing so, we block the new opportunities and possibilities that are ready to enter our lives. Releasing old patterns is an act of trust. It's trusting that by letting go, we make room for something greater, something more aligned with the future we desire. When we clear the mental and emotional space, we allow miracles to enter. Miracles are not limited to grand, dramatic events. They are the small, often unnoticed shifts that happen when we align ourselves with a higher frequency of possibility. By letting go of outdated beliefs and embracing new ways of thinking and being, we create the conditions for miraculous change to flow into our lives. Alignment with divine energy unlocks abundance. When we connect with the limitless power of the divine, we begin to tap into a flow of energy that is not restricted by the limitations we often impose on ourselves. This energy is abundant, eternal, and constantly available to us. However, we often overlook it or disconnect from it, either due to fear, doubt, or a lack of awareness. We may think of abundance only in material terms, equating it with wealth, possessions, or success. But true abundance is far greater than that. It encompasses every aspect of our lives, from love and joy to health, peace, and opportunity. When we align ourselves with divine energy, we open ourselves up to receiving all forms of abundance. This alignment happens when we choose to act in harmony with the higher laws of the universe, trusting that we are supported by forces far greater than ourselves. It requires letting go of the belief that we must struggle, compete, or fight for what we want. Instead, we begin to live with the understanding that abundance flows effortlessly when we are in tune with the divine flow. Abundance is not something we must seek out in the future. It is something that is present in the now, available to us at every moment. When we align with divine energy, we begin to see opportunities we once overlooked. And we find that what we need shows up in unexpected ways. We stop chasing after what we think we need and begin to trust that everything we require for growth, fulfillment, and success is already on its way to us. This alignment shifts our mindset from scarcity to abundance, allowing us to experience life with a deep sense of gratitude and openness. You are not bound by time or external circumstances. So often we live as though our lives are controlled by factors outside of our control. By the clock, by societal expectations, by circumstances that seem too overwhelming to change. We believe that certain things are out of our reach because they have not yet manifested. That we are limited by our past experiences. But the truth is that you are not defined by time or external conditions. You are a powerful creator with the ability to transcend these boundaries. Time is a human construct. It is a tool we use to organize our experiences, but it is not a limitation to your potential. You do not need to wait for the right time to create change in your life, nor should you allow the passage of time to convince you that transformation is impossible. The power to change, to create, and to grow is always available to you, regardless of what the clock says. When we stop focusing on time and external circumstances, we start to realize that we have the ability to move beyond them. External circumstances are also not the defining factor of our success or happiness. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that we are victims of our environment, that our success is determined by where we come from or what we have. But the truth is that no circumstance is permanent and no situation is beyond change. You have the power to transform your environment, your relationships, and your life, no matter what your past looks like or what your current circumstances are. When you release the belief that you are bound by time or external conditions, you open yourself up to the infinite possibilities available to you at any given moment. Be ready to receive. Your breakthrough is already within you. Too often we wait for a breakthrough to come from somewhere outside ourselves, believing it will arrive in the form of a perfect opportunity, a moment of divine intervention, or an external shift in our circumstances. While these things may indeed come, the truth is that the key to your breakthrough lies within you, and it always has. The moment you decide to open yourself to the possibility of transformation is the moment you begin to activate the power that has been waiting for you all along. Being ready to receive doesn't mean waiting passively for something to happen. It means preparing yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to accept the abundance, change, and growth that are already available to you. It's about removing the internal blocks, fears, and limiting beliefs that keep you from stepping into your full potential. When you clear these obstacles from your mind and heart, you make space for the breakthroughs that are meant to come. Often we resist receiving because we believe we are unworthy or not yet deserving of what we desire. We hesitate to accept the good that is already flowing toward us because we don't believe we are ready or capable of handling it. But the truth is, the divine has already equipped you with everything you need. Your breakthrough is not something that will be given to you from outside. It is a realization, an awakening, a recognition of the potential you already hold within. Being ready to receive is also about trust. Trusting that the universe is always in alignment with your highest good, and trusting that you are capable of stepping into the life you've always dreamed of. When you open yourself to this truth, you invite the breakthrough into your life,